Hey guys, it's Gary, and today we're going to learn how to do big flips on a fingerboard. Okay, the big flip's a really tricky one. Most people try to learn it after they learn how to do 360 flips, but you don't really need to know how to do 360 flips, and I'll explain that in a second. The finger positioning, I put my fingers like this, like a varial kickflip. The reason why I say it's not necessary to know 360 flips, even though it is a 360 flip with your fingers like this, you don't need to know 360 flips because you can also do it like a varial flip and then catch it and finish the rotation. So you can either do the full flip and bring your fingers with it, or you can do most of the flip and complete it. Now, most of the time it doesn't look any different, but it's all in your head. Some people find it easier to rotate less, and some people just are more comfortable flipping the 360 flip and landing like this. At first I was intimidated by throwing the board 360 degrees and then bringing my fingers like that, so I started learning by doing a varial flip 270 and then I would bring it around. As you get better with it, you can learn how to do it the varial flip way in your head, but you'll complete the rotation. Okay, the first step is you want to roll up and you want to pop. Now, you're going to have to experiment and see which way is easier for you. My advice is to just throw it 360 degrees and land your fingers like that and see how consistent you are with it. And if you are consistent with it, then that's probably the easier way to do it, or if you're getting really close. The second way is the varial flip way, where you do a varial flip and then you bring it around like that. Now, it depends which way you're comfortable, you see. So if you are more comfortable with the varial flip way, then you should go that way. If you're more comfortable with the tray flip way, you should do the tray flip way. Either way, I like to put my finger a little bit higher up than a tray flip. And the reason why is because when you're doing a big flip, you're concentrating on the rotation. And big flips generally tend to flip a little slower than tray flips do. Okay, I know that was really a mouthful, but I'm going to try explaining this to you. When you're learning big flips, obviously your first step is to pop. Flick your fingers like you would a tray flip or a varial flip. Throw your fingers 180 and land it, right? So it's all a learning process. So let's say I imagine I am you right now. I'm going to try the tray flip way, flip it like a tray flip, and just throw my fingers around 180. This might be for people who are better at tray flips, for example. So I'm going to give it a few shots, and just test the waters. And then if you get kind of close, or even if you want to see the other way, which way you learn better, you could flip it like a varial flip, and then you could bring it around. And whatever way works for you, you should probably learn it that way. You'll get better at it, and then you can't even tell the difference. It's kind of like a big spin. You can either think of it as a 360 shove and you throw your fingers around, or you could just think of it as a, kind of pop shove it with the extra 180. And whatever way works is valid. So big flips can get really frustrating because you land a little bit off and it wouldn't really count as a land. So you really need to get used to doing this kind of motion on flat, not even with the pop. Just do that a bunch of times, get used to landing with that, or practice some backside 180s. Just get it down, or some big spins. Do what you have to get used to landing in this backside 180 position. Same goes for frontside flips. You need to learn how to land with your fingers like this instead of the standard flat. The second most common problem with big flips, I would say, is a lot of people they have trouble like flicking the board, and it'll flip too much or flip too little. And I find that with big flips, I like to flick up a little bit more instead of like a tray flip completely sideways. I feel like when I flip it up a little bit more, I have a little more control in the landing and which way the board is going to flip. You have big flips down, you can try, big flip manuals or something like that.